Hey guys, this is Josh here with Trillium Wild Edibles, and today I want to discuss with you how I save over $400 a year by foraging. Now, a lot of people may be wondering how foraging can save them time or save them money, and how they can add it into their lifestyle without it being a major inconvenience. Now, there are a couple of main ways to do that. In my opinion and my personal experience, it comes through foraging medicinal plants. The reason I say that is because I spent a lot of years foraging. I've been foraging for about 8, maybe almost 9 years, going on 9 years, it's almost 2017, so yeah, 9 years. Because I started foraging really heavily in 2008, so 9 years that I've been foraging. And throughout that time, I have saved more money and time through gathering plants to make medicine than I really have in the end for food. Food is nice and it's a nice additional benefit, and it is enjoyable and very delicious. However, medicine is something that a lot more people need, and a lot of our modern pharmaceuticals have a lot of chemicals that some people are wanting to avoid. And whenever it comes to wild plants for medicine, some people and most people think of things like teas and balms and those sorts of things, maybe even salves. Some people might think of tinctures, but tinctures are relatively unknown to a lot of beginners. Most people just think of teas. They think, ooh, an herbal tea. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, the thing is that herbal teas actually use way more plant material for what you're getting in return, medicinal-wise, than a tincture does. And the reason I say that is I can use probably about twice the amount of dried or fresh herbs that I'm going to use for 1 to 3 cups of tea. So I can double the amount that I would use for tea, and I can actually make tincture, and I can get 6 to 8 ounces of tincture. Now that 6 to 8 ounces of tincture is enough for me to actually give bottles away to other people. So not only do I have enough for myself, but I have enough to give away to other people. And every time I've ever made tincture, it's only used 1, maybe 2 plants, depending on which plant it is that I'm actually gathering at the time. Now, a really nice thing about making tinctures yourself is you can save a lot of money versus going out to the store or the health store and buying them. You go out to the health store and buy tinctures, you're probably going to be paying anywhere from $13 to $17 for a 1 ounce bottle of tincture. Okay, you could spend $3 more than that, $3 more, at least where I live, and go buy 750 milliliters of 40 proof alcohol or higher, and then spend another $10 to $15 on tincture bottles, 2 ounce tincture bottles, and you will have 25 fluid ounces, so you'll have 12 of those 2 ounce bottles filled up, plus an extra 1 ounce bottle if you got it laying around. But you'll have 25 fluid ounces of alcohol to make tincture. So that it breaks down to about 25 ounces of tincture, 25 fluid ounces of tincture for $50, including your tincture bottles. That being said, let's break down an average price per 1 ounce bottle comparison of tincture versus making tincture ourselves. Alright, now here you can see one of the most popular companies that people buy their tincture from. I'm not going to be listing the name of this company. However, you may be able to see the prices here, and this is mullein, for example. 1 ounce of their mullein tincture is $14. You can see motherwort for $12.50, $14, even all the way up to $15 for milk thistle. You know, you can see mullein and garlic ear oil for $13. So the prices range anywhere from $12 to $13, even all the way up to $15. Let's check out another herb here, echinacea, another very common plant that a lot of people use for replacement, and it says here a function of the immune system, but a lot of people actually use this herb for colds and flus to boost the immune system so their immune system can fight their colds or their flus naturally instead of through chemicals or pharmaceuticals. And then here we can see the price of this echinacea tincture at $14 per 1 fluid ounce. If we check out another one, let's check out lobelia here, we can see it's $12.50, $12.50 for 1 fluid ounce. And then we check out yarrow and we see $12.50, again for 1 fluid ounce. Prices can range all the way up to $16 per fluid ounce of tincture. That is a lot of money. Now, if you're talking about making tinctures from scratch, you can check out some of my making tincture videos, like, how to make bone set tincture or how to make lobelia and flata tincture, where I get 6 to 8 ounces of tincture whenever I make that tincture, and I only use 1 or 2 plants. Okay, so let's do a little bit of mathematics here. If you were to buy just 6 bottles, we'll be a little bit conservative, but if you were to buy just 6 bottles of tincture at a $13 price tag, it would cost you $78. Okay, so you could pay $20 for a bottle of vodka, and you could add, let's say, $15 for, probably about 10 2-ounce tincture bottles, which will give you 20 ounces of tincture for 35 bucks. For 35 bucks, you could have 20 ounces of tincture. So let's say you got 20 ounces of tincture times $13, 260 bucks. So now let's minus the 35 from that, and we have $225 that you have saved just by making your own tinctures. Just off of that right there. Now multiply that by numbers of plants, and you have an ass load of savings. Alright, and at this point I've talked a little bit about how I save over $400 a year through foraging and through making tinctures. Now I'm going to break this down just a little bit more so you guys can kind of get an idea of where I'm coming from and how I've added this up. Now there are 6 different plants that I gather from the wild that I make tincture out of. You have yarrow, lobelia and flata, bone set, common mullein, echinacea, and mountain mint. Now I also do make myself tincture out of commercially bought ginger, because again, you go buy commercial tincture, you're going to be paying $12 to $15 a bottle, when a root, one ginger root is like $2. Add that to $10 worth of vodka, and you have 6 to 8 bottles worth for $12. So you get 6 to 8 times the amount that you do whenever you make your own tinctures versus buying it. So if we break this down mathematically a little bit here, and we think, okay, let's be a little conservative, and let's say we get 6 ounces of tincture per plant, and we multiply that by 6 plants. We get 36 ounces of tincture. So that's 2 bottles of vodka at 20 bucks. So remember the 36. Let's clear this. 20 times 2 is 40. And we'll, let's say, add 34 tincture bottles themselves, and that brings us up to approximately $70. Yeah, so if I've got 6 plants that I get 6 ounces each out of, so let's say 6 ounces, and it cost me, let's say, 13 bucks an ounce, to a fluid ounce to buy commercial tincture, that's $78. Now let's multiply that $78 times 6. We get $468 just for that right there. Now whenever we subtract from that 40 for tincture bottle, so whenever we subtract from that 40 for our vodka, we're down to $428. Now let's minus 35 to be conservative for tincture bottles, and we're down to $393. That's saved just by those 6. So whenever we add in things like balms or salves or teas, this number only goes up. Whenever we start adding in food, things like, oh, well, I didn't have to buy a head of lettuce because I can gather all my greens from my yard. This number only goes up every month. And that right there is how I'm able to save over $400 a year. Because not only that, I'm also able to knock out the price of over-the-counter medications because I don't buy them. I have no reason to buy them because I can get all of my medicine this way. Well, that pretty much covers how I'm able to save over $400 a year through foraging. And like I said, there are multiple ways that I'm able to do that. And you yourself, those numbers might be a little higher, they might be a little lower. However, foraging is something that can save you guys a lot of money and a lot of time if done properly. And that's one of the things that I really wanted to cover in this video, and I hope that I did. I hope this video has enlightened some of you into learning how you yourselves can save money and live healthier through foraging plants for medicine or even possibly for food. I thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. If you want to learn more about edible or medicinal plants, make sure to subscribe.